my prairie, and this is my home. Well, this is my prairie, and this is my home. And I'll make my stand here, and I'll die alone. They can drill and they can mine on my smoldering bones. 'Cause this is my prairie, and this is my home. This is my mom's favorite song of mine. It doesn't come close to Neil Diamond, but it's her favorite song of mine. The truth comes out as the fire burns low. It comes to light as only embers glow. The whiskey talks, the west wind moans in the night. The deadfall's gathered and the branches are cut. The kindling crackles and the smoke curls up. The small sticks catch, then the bigger stuff will burn. Chinook dies down as the dark descends, and the pine is burned, the ash is cleansed, the message smolders, is lost but finally sent. Well, Connie says she's never seen a cougar so bold. They're coming in the yard and the steed and young colts. They drag him in the brush with the claws sunk in their nose. The weather's been funny 30 years or so. The winter's got warm, there's not as much snow. Hear the big cats coming 'cause there's nowhere left to go. You gotta look out for bear when you're fishing on Lee's Creek. They'll come round the bend and they'll make your knees weak. There's grizzlies where there was no grizzly bears before. I've heard voices from the ghosts from the graves. The grandfathers tell us that the mouths of the caves. Only old Chief Soldier and Jesus can save us now, if we're lucky. The white man lights a big fire, stays cold. The red man's warmer, but the old man's old. The antelope seeks the buffalo in the night. Yeah, the antelope mourns the buffalo in the night. You gotta look out for bear when you're fishing on Lee's Creek. They'll come round the bend and they'll make your knees weak. There's grizzlies where there was no grizzly bears before. The truth comes out as the fire burns low. It comes to light as only embers glow. The antelope seeks the buffalo in the night. Thank you. How you doing, Missouri? All right. Hey, Brian, I'll take a touch more guitar if I could still. Thanks, everybody. So I wanted to let you know the band is fine. The Hurtin' Albertans are fine. Who's seen me with the band before? Some of you? Okay. They're doing well. I just wanted to do a tour where I could bullshit a little bit more with you about the songs and stuff. I have about 2/3 of the audience that like to rock out at the honky tonk, and I enjoy that too. And I got about 1/3 that want to know all about the songs. So that's you people, I guess. Somebody asked me today, we sent out questions in advance, or solicited questions in advance, and someone had quite a detailed question about my background, my family background in ranching and that kind of thing, and how it affects my songwriting. So my people are I'm from Alberta, Canada, first of all. So the geography goes, you may know this, but if you don't, it goes Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Alberta, way up here in the Rocky Mountains. And my people came from Utah, Nevada, and around they ranched down there in the 1800s, and then they came up to Alberta around the turn of the century and homesteaded in southern Alberta. And I don't do that anymore. I grew up that way, but I'm on the road making music. I can't even have a cat anymore. But it's a big part of my psyche, I think. I identify a lot with the American West. In fact, some of us up there in Western Canada have a stronger cultural connection with the Western U.S. states than we do with the Eastern Canada in some ways, because it's true. I mean, we have that cowboy culture that came from Texas with the big herds, came all the way up the Rockies and ended up in Calgary, really. So I'm going to play a couple songs. That's sort of an introduction to my announcement of the creation of my own subgenre, because I occupy my own spot, and I've worked on the fringes of music for a long time, and it's kind of good because you can do whatever you want because you're not on the radio anyway. And so for a long time, they've called it alt country, and then they called outlaw country for a while, and underground country, and red dirt Texas country, and Americana, and roots. And I've decided that my own particular subgenre is going to be called agricultural tragic. It's there's not many of us doing it. It's narrow, but committed. And this is one of those songs. This is about stress and codependency, rage, and financial ruin. It goes like this. Everything is better with some cows around. Living in town sometimes brings me down. Let me bestow this western blessing and leave you cattle bound. May you always have cows around. What else you gonna spend that extra money on? What else is gonna get you up hours before dawn? What else is gonna keep you toiling on and on and on? May you always have cows around. Now come on, you know that you got too much time on your hands, and not nearly enough complication in your plans. Well, you need to embrace all of the frustration that you can. May you always have cows around. Well, everything is better with some cows around. Living in town sometimes brings me down. Let me bestow this western blessing and leave you saddle bound. May you always have cows around. What else can make a bishop swear like a sailor might? What else can cause such tension between a man and his wife? What else could ever bring all these enhancements to your life? May you always have cows around. Well, you'd never get to see your banker. Otherwise, you'd never get to fix no fence or hang no barbed wires, or have some neighbor's mangy bull breed the heifers that you prize. May you always have cows around. What else is gonna get out when you don't close the gate? What else will make you prematurely show your age? What else would take a run at you in a fit of bovine rage? May you always have cows around. Yes, sir. Well, everything is better with some cows around. Living in town sometimes brings me down. Let me bestow this western blessing and leave you cattle bound. May you always have cows around. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, I see. Well, there's Herbert, Highland, Simmons, West Black and Main and Jew, Keenan, Limousine, Shorthorn, Charlotte, what twos is two, Texas Longhorn, Corianti, Romagnola, Galloway, and Angus, Brahma, Brangus, Jersey, Guernsey, Holstein, hey! Might have had to let them dig for, that's extra, that costs extra. Might have had to let them dig for oil and gas. You might have had to turn the place into an exotic game ranch. Or you might have had to do all kinds of things to raise the cash so you'd always have cows around. How else you gonna lose it all like great-granddaddy did? What else to make sure you leave nothing to your hip-hop loving kids? But it's too late now, you know it is. You might as well admit that you've a badly flawed and sentimental masochisticness, and that despite all the statistics and the advice that you get, you will always have cows around. Okay, well, everything is better with some cows around. Living in town sometimes brings me down. Let me bestow this western blessing and leave you saddle bound. May you always have cows around. May you always have cows around. So yeah. My great-grandfathers came to Alberta. We've still got relatives that ranch down in Nevada, and they came up to Canada and they raised cows there. And my grandfathers did, my mom and dad did. And there's a recent phenomenon in the cowboy world where the woman likes to spend all the man's money on horse stuff. I'm not sure, this is a new development, but I'm writing a song about it. It's almost finished, but I'm gonna play it for you anyway. It's sort of a work in progress. And I wrote it with my friend named Jada, and it's a duet with a lady, so if anyone has Miranda's phone number, she's changed it on me. All right, here's how it goes. It goes like this. Folks think you're rich when they say I have horses. Well, that might be true if my income sources weren't eaten up every month on the boardage for all of our four-legged friends. My accountant says that my funds are depleted, but I keep my wealth right where I can see it, in pastures and barns and in show arenas. And because of the money she spends, we're horse poor, I sell one, she buys two more. Luxuries we could afford if we was rich and not horse poor. Okay, here's Miranda's part. Oh, he must have forgot the show where he met me. He said the way I sat my saddle was sexy. Said a cowgirl like me was worth every penny. Better start making sense now, my dear. You can build me a barn and it better be heated with a whole lot of stalls and hire some kid to clean it. Buy me a stud and smile when you feed it, 'cause we're just getting started round here. We're horse poor, I sell one, she buys three more. Luxuries we could afford if we were rich and not horse poor. By the power invested in me by the ponies, you shall be saddled in your matrimony. I now pronounce you man, wife, and horses. You may kiss all your money goodbye. Horse poor, I sell one, she buys three more. Luxuries we could afford if we were rich and not horse poor. I was telling my road manager, Kyle, on the drive-in, I said, today I'm not going to play any of the stupid, funny songs. Just serious stuff all the way through. I'm going to be a serious artist tonight. And 3 songs in, that's out the window. Let's see. I'm going to play you one now that I wrote with my buddy Hayes, Carl. And also, little known fact, Jason Boland had a little bit to do with this too. And someone asked me to give them a detailed account of how that happened. So what happens is sometimes when you write songs, you get the whole thing in a couple hours. And sometimes with me, more often than not, it takes me quite a long time to finish them. And I had this one kind of on the boil for 4 years probably. I had a chorus and one verse, and I bounced it off a bunch of guys, including Jason. We took a shot at it, and he came up with a line or two, and I can't remember which lines anymore, but he came up with a couple lines, but it still was pretty far from being finished. And then I went to Hayes' place, and we just had a beer or two and finished it in a couple hours. So it took a long time, but it was kind of a group effort. And this is called Bible on the Dash, and it's not a true story. Two nights stand in Tulsa, pulling out and headed west. Brady grabbed the Gideons from the hotel in the desk, and we said, "What's the matter, brother? Are you worried about your soul?" He said, "Better safe than sorry, boys. That's just how I roll." We hit the road, feeling cool as Crosby, Stills, and Nash, overflowing with the Spirit and the Bible on the dash. Well, we pulled the whole thing over for the flashing reds and blues. The police come to the window and we said, "Have you heard the news?" He said, "Don't get smart with me, boy. Why you driving 95? My foot is heavy with redemption. I'm just blessed to be alive." He said, "I ought to pull you out of there and beat you black and blue." I placed my hand upon the good book and said, "What would Jesus do?" Well, it's better than insurance, registration, or lying. It's better than these fake IDs I have to keep buying. It's even better than an envelope stuffed with cash. Well, they always said it saved me, that old Bible on the dash. Well, around these parts that have alone to make probable cause. If you're moving through my county, you'll obey my earthly laws. We did our best to quote some holy writ, chapter and verse. What kind of music you boys make? We said Christian music, sir. Well, he thought about it, contemplated, twirled his copper stash. Well, all right, y'all, be careful now, just don't drive quite so fast. Well, it's better than insurance, registration, or lying. It's better than these fake IDs I have to keep buying. It's even better than an envelope stuffed with cash. Oh, always said it saved me, that old Bible on the dash. Crossing at the border, a few months later we heard freeze. Pulling over there, son, we're gonna do some search and seize. Or maybe if we'd been more famous, he said just move along. If he'd have seen us on the TV, or if we'd had hit single songs. Well, he's just about to ask us where's the money, guns, and hash. Well, I was praying it'd save me, that old Bible on the dash. Well, his hand was on his pistol, and his dog was on his leash. And that shepherd, he was keeping a pretty close eye on the sheep. We got a list we're gonna look at and see if we can't find your names. We got parabolic laser beams that hears everything you say. We got ultraviolet x-rays that can see right through your bus. I said, look out, man, the NSA's got an eye on all of us. Well, it's better than a green card, it's better than lying. It's better than these work visas you make me keep buying. It's even better than an envelope stuffed with cash. Oh, Lord, I'm at the border with the Bible on the dash. Something like that. I have a quick little story about that. I have two, in fact. I can either tell you one about the Danish mechanical engineers or the one about the Turkish border guard. What do you think? Well, the one about the Danish guys was that we were playing this song. We played in Hamburg last year, and we played this song. And these guys were from Denmark, and they were engineers, and they looked like it. They were pretty nerdy. They were nice guys, but they're real straight shooters. And they looked like characters from The Simpsons almost. And they said to me, we have come to see you in Hamburg because you did not play in Copenhagen. And then they let that guilt sink in for a minute. Passive aggressive. And then they said, we have been talking about your Bible on the Dash song, which you wrote with Hayes Carl, and we are mechanical engineers, and it's important for you to know that there's no such thing as parabolic laser beam. I said, poetic license, dudes. And they had a little huddle about it. No, poetic license, okay. But the funny thing is, I told that story last night, and okay, at the end of the show, this drunk guy, older guy, comes up and says, I work for the government, and we're actually developing one, he says. But don't tell you I said that. It's a spook. So I don't know, what should we play next? I'm sort of winging it. That's a good idea. I like that idea. So, you've seen us with the band, correct? You said, some of you? Well, my guitar player, Grant, is quite good at what he does. He's really great guitar player. But he comes from a very talented family. Hey, Brian, can I have a touch more guitar, please? Thanks, buddy. He comes from a talented family because his brother is also excellent at his job, and he buries people for money. He's a grave digger. And this is for him, and this is a true story. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with vigor, grave digger, for rigor mortis says and dig. Yeah, dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keeps getting bigger, so dig, grave digger, dig. Well, he don't mind the cadavers. He don't mind human remains. He got no problem sleeping at night. Ain't nothing little whiskey won't tame. I asked about ghosts and spirits. I asked him if he ever got spooked. I asked him if he ever gets haunted by souls, but he reckons that it bears him too. Now he ain't bothered by corpses. He'll plant stiffs all day. See, he on some kind of piecework deal, and he get paid by the grave. Oh, dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with vigor, grave digger, for rigor mortis says sin, dig. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keeps getting bigger, so dig, grave digger, dig. He could be making more money. He could be out working the rigs. But he says he don't really like no company. He says he'd rather just dig. Well, grave digger, he got secrets. He whispered as he lit up a cig. He says you gotta watch you don't badger the hole when you're cutting through the roots and the twigs. He works right through in the darkness, and then he stops and it takes him a swig. Drive by the right time of the night, you might spy him in the moonlight doing the jig. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with vigor, grave digger, for rigor mortis sits and dig. Yeah, dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keeps getting bigger, so dig, grave digger, dig. Dig, dig, grave digger. You dig, grave digger, dig. Yeah, that big old hole just keeps getting bigger, so grave digger, keep on digging. Dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. Work that shovel with vigor, grave digger, or rigor mortis sits and dig. Yeah, dig, dig, grave digger. Dig, grave digger, dig. That big old hole just keeps getting bigger, so dig, grave digger, dig. Stay with me through September. Summer didn't last, and there ain't nobody in New York City could need you half as bad. Stay with me through September. Yeah, the nights are getting cold. Old man winter gonna be here soon, and the cattle still ain't sold. Stay with me through September. Yeah, I know there ain't much to do, and I guess I did my years of starving in the city. I was young once too. Well, I can picture how you're living in a tiny 4th-floor flat. I guess there's times that 1,000 acres in the Rocky Mountains can't compete with that. Stay with me through September. I know the flight's already booked, but I couldn't let you go and leave it like this without giving it a second look. Stay with me through September. Yeah, the pace is kind of slow, and there ain't much glamour on the old back quarter, babe. I guess I got to let you go. Well, I can picture how you're living in a tiny 4th-floor flat. I guess there's times that 1,000 acres in the Rocky Mountains can't compete with that. Stay with me through September. Summer didn't last, and there ain't nobody in Kansas City can need you half as bad. Well, I can picture how you're living in a Lower East Side flat. I guess there's times that 1,000 acres in the Rocky Mountains can't compete with that. Tell her that Alberta says hello. Tell her that I wish she'd come on home. Tell her that I think she'd like the show. And tell her that Alberta says hello. Tell her that the winters are still cold. Tell her I still got the old wood stove. Tell her that the Oilers scored a goal. Tell her that Alberta says hello. Tell her I'm glad she's doing well in Montreal. talked to Laura, John, Christine, and Rich and Paul. Well, it was tough for me to make it through the fall without you there beside me through it all. Tell her that I really miss her laugh, and tell her that I'm sick about the past. Tell her what I'd do with one more chance. Tell her that the snow is coming fast. Tell her I'm glad she's doing well in Montreal. I talked to Laura, John, Christine, and Rich and Paul. It'd be tough for me to make it through next fall without you there beside me through it all. Tell her that Alberta says hello. Tell her that I wish she'd come on home. Tell her that I think she'd have liked the show. And tell her that Alberta says hello. Thank you. That's an old one. That's for... I have in my notes that someone named Stuart requested that. Where's Stuart? Hey, buddy. Are you from home? Are you from Canada? Oh. Okay. Cool. Close enough. It's cold there, too. Where's is Victoria here? Where's Victoria? Hey, happy birthday. It's Victoria's birthday, everybody. She's 26. Let's see here. How about Ian Tyson? You guys know Ian Tyson's music? There was a couple of requests for something by him. Play this one. He's doing well. He's 84 years old up in Alberta. He's still got some cows. And he's still writing songs and selling out shows and having crippling romantic problems at 84. I don't know how he manages that, but he does. He's 84 and he says hi. We're doing some shows together in Canada actually in January, so that'll be fun. This is one of his old hits in the old days. He likes to say, he gets all grumpy because this goddamn song paid a lot of goddamn alimony. There's a young man that I know, just turned 21. Comes from down in southern Colorado. He's just out of the service. He's looking for his fun someday soon. Going with him someday soon. My parents, they don't like him 'cause he works the rodeo. Mama said that he will leave me crying, but I would follow him right down the toughest road to hoe someday soon. Going with him someday soon. When it comes to call, my pa ain't got a good word to say. Oh, but I bet he was just as wild in his younger days. So blow you old blue northern, blow him back to me. He's likely riding in from California. He loves his damned old rodeo as much as he loves me. someday soon. Going with him someday soon. When it comes to call, my pa ain't got a good word to say. Oh, but I bet he was just as wild in his younger days. So blow you old blue northern, blow him back to me. He's likely riding in from California. He loves that damned old rodeo as much as he loves me. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. Someday soon, going with him someday soon. Speaking of rodeo, did are my monitors going in and out or something? The voice just went in and out. Speaking of rodeo, I'm gonna play an old song that I wrote a long time ago. My dad was kind of a Renaissance cowboy. He was a steer wrestler, a pro steer wrestler, and he was a cattle rancher and a large animal veterinarian. We'll get back to that later. But he was also a Western artist. He was a painter. And we had a pair of spurs in our family, the Crockett spurs from the 1930s, I think. My grandpa rode broncs in them, and then my dad rode broncs in them, and I used them to steer ride when I was a kid. And we still have them. They're on a shelf at home. And one of Dad's first really cool sketches was of these spurs. And he named the drawing, he named it "We Used to Ride 'em." And I wrote this song, and at first when you hear this song, it sounds like it's two old cowboys talking to each other, but it's actually the spurs talking to each other, wishing that they were back in action. The wind still blows the dust across the exhibition grounds. The chute still creaks and moans and echoes saddle bronking sounds. The horses all wound up the same as the ones that came before, but we don't ride 'em anymore. There was a tear in his eye the day that I remember very well. He said his luck was gone and his draw was bad and his riding had gone all to hell. He said Scott used to ride 'em to a standstill where the silver buckle high point of war. Hey, we don't ride 'em like we used to ride 'em all the time, and now we don't ride 'em anymore. Listen close to the bull riders' ropes as they're rosin up for war, and pay some close attention to the muses at your door. Well, listen close and listen well and absorb it to your core, 'cause one day you won't hear them sounds no more. Hey, we don't ride 'em like we used to ride 'em to a standstill where the silver buckle high point of war. Hey, we don't ride 'em like we used to ride 'em all the time, and now we don't ride 'em anymore. The wind still blows the dust across the exhibition grounds. The chute still creaks and moans and echoes saddle bronking sounds. The horses all wound up the same as the ones that came before, but we don't ride 'em anymore. Thank you. Here's another one. This is for my uncle. He was a bareback rider. He's also the guy that Hard On Equipment is named after, or is inspired by. Because he built a log cabin for me. He was a real artist with logs and a chainsaw. He could do anything. But that's where it stopped, because he did everything with a chainsaw. Cut plywood, 2x4s, drywall, twine with the chainsaw. So this is for him. We lost him a few years ago. He's a good one. People tell me I have to talk slower. I should talk slower because of I'm almost not understandable to begin with because of my northern twang. So I'm going to speak slower. This is for my uncle. This is for my uncle. How you guys feeling? You okay? Okay. Just checking. Checking the dipstick. He's been hung up and stepped on and outdrawed and reduced to tears. He's done his best thinking with his hand in the Reagan for years. He's got an old trophy saddle he won back in '75. He's getting too old to travel. He's lucky he's even alive. Well, he's a bucking horse rider, and he likes them a little wilder than most. And you can tell just by looking, though he'd be the last one to boast. Unless he'd been drinking, but hell, he's been dry now for months. Well, he's a bucking horse rider. He won down at Pendleton once. He's rode moonshine and 3 bars and hat rack and Kessler's whole string. There ain't a sign he likes better than hearing them silver spurs ring. The squeak of the rosin and leather and the thump of the hooves. Well, he's a bucking horse rider, and tonight he's got nothing to lose. He's a bucking horse rider, and he likes them a little wilder than most. And you can tell just by looking, though he'd be the last one to boast. Unless he'd been drinking, but hell, he's been dry now for months. He's a bucking horse rider, and he won up at Calgary once. Yeah, he's a bucking horse rider. He won down at old Cheyenne once. Thank you. Someone was wanting yodeling. Some poor lost soul. Lorianne? Is that Lorianne? Where's Lorianne? I want to get a look at you. Who asked for that? Who asked for that? Okay, I'm going to play a song with yodeling. You asked for it. This is a song with a title like a newspaper headline. It's called "Priceless Antique Pistol Shoots Startled Owner." Are there any antique pistol collectors here tonight? Really? That's good. New York City, it's always crickets. Nothing. None of them. So I got an 1880s Smith & Wesson new model in .44 Russian that was actually carried in the Tombstone movie by one of the red-sashed cowboy outlaw gang. At least that's what the guy on the internet told me. But I think he's legit. He's a stuntman. I got the papers, so I think it's true. This is sort of loosely inspired by a possible history of that piece. Maybe we should try a spelling contest. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo. Inspect the silver inlay and the finely engraved steel. Rich carved ivory grips with checkered lines that you can feel. You'll find it premature to call the caliber obsolete, when olden time design and modern treacherousness meet. It's a curio that slipped between our current laws as read, priceless as an artifact, but leaves you just as dead. Craftsmanship like this is not displayed much anymore, and there ain't too many gangsters loading Russian 44. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo. To think a learned chronicler like you would be the one whose eye for detail failed to see him dusting off your gun. Well, you must be the first in 90 years to meet his death by way of antique, archaic, black powder pistol's breath. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo. Despite your recent injuries, you must admit that still it remains an elegant and stylish way to kill. Yes, despite my injuries, good sir, I cannot lie. It remains an elegant and stylish way to die. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo, yodeloo. Yodelay, yodeloo, yodeloo. Okay, we're gonna edge into more and more subversive topics. Yay, says the young lady. Okay, this is for you. You know who you are. When the oil stops, everything stops, nothing left in the fountain. Nobody wants paper money, son, so you just stop counting. Can you break the horse? Can you light the fire? Well, said I beg your pardon. You best start thinking where your food comes from, and I hope you tend a good garden. Well, getting down on the mountain, getting down on the mountain. Don't wanna be around when the shit goes down. I'll be getting down on the mountain. When the trucks don't run, the bread won't come. Have a hard time finding petrol. Water ain't running in the city no more. Do you hold any precious metal? Can you gut the fish? Can you read the sky? What's that about overcrowding? You ever seen a man whose kids ain't ate for 17 days and counting? We're getting down on the mountain, going to ground on the mountain. Don't wanna be around when the shit goes down. I'll be getting down on the mountain. There ain't no heat, the power's gone out. It's kerosene lamps and candles. The roads are blocked, it's all gridlocked. You got a shortwave handle. Can you track the deer? Can you dig the well? I couldn't quite hear your answer, and I think I see a rip in the social fabric. Brother, can you spare some ammo? We're getting down on the mountain, getting down on the mountain. Don't wanna be around when the shit goes down. I'll be getting down on the mountain. Stops, everything stops, nothing left in the fountain. Nobody wants paper money, son, so you just well stop counting. Can you break the horse? Can you light the fire? What's that? I beg your pardon. You best start thinking where your food comes from, and I hope you tend a good garden. We're getting down on the mountain, getting down on the mountain. Don't wanna be around when the shit goes down. I'll be getting down on the mountain, getting down on the mountain, getting down on the mountain. Don't wanna be around when the shit goes down. I'll be getting down on the mountain, getting down on the mountain. Apple juice. Actually, I was going to say something. I'm going to play this song first, and then I'll tell you after. Well, I want to be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and I hear the cannons roar. Well, I want to be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I want a horse in the volunteer force riding forth at dawn. Save for me some gallantry that will echo when I'm gone. I beg of you, swords, let me lead the charge and the battle lines are drawn. Let me at least leave a good hoofbeat to remember loud and long. Well, I'm not a good foot soldier, make I be sour and slow at march. And I'd be sick on a Navy ship and the sea would leave me parched. But I'll be first in line if they let me ride, by God, you'll see my starch. Low back o'er the heath with the laurel wreath underneath that victory arch. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and I hear the cannons roar. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if I must go off to war, yes sir. Let me earn my spurs and the battles blur when the day is lost or won. I wheel my lances, the ponies dance, and the black guards fire their guns. A saber keen and a saddle carbine and an army Remington. Where the hot lead screams of the cold, cold steel, let me be a cavalryman. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I want a good steed under me like my forefathers before. I want a good mount when the bugle sounds and I hear the cannons roar. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if I must go off to war. Have them play their flutes and stir up my boots and place them back to front. Because I won't be back on the Rattler's Black and I'm finished in my hunt. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry if they send me off to war. Well, I wanna be in the cavalry, but I won't ride home no more. Thanks. What I was gonna say is someone wrote in name here. Kara, I think, wrote in asking if I had military experience or my family did, and the answer is no, I don't have any, and no one in my family. Sometimes people say, do you have any vets in your family? I say, yeah, my dad, he's a horse doctor. It's not the same thing. Equally cool, but much different. Anyway, I'm just a history nut, and I liked Johnny Horton a lot as a kid. So I'm going to play another one from that same Horse Soldier record that apparently someone asked me to play it last time, and I refused, saying that it was too much of a bummer. So I'm going to play it for you and lay it on you and see what you think. They took away our dog tags, they had us grow our hair, they gave us student visas when we was over there. They staged us at Hondo, Alesta Salvador, and I guess you'd call us Contras, but no one calls us much no more. There ain't no fun in killing folk, and I don't wanna do no more. Well, my great-great rode a Shiloh, Grandpa drove a tank, Daddy was air cavalry, flew choppers in Da Nang. Well, I worked mostly clandestine, which branch I should not say. Well, I played with better guns and I could use the extra pay. Did Reagan give the order? Did cocaine pay the bills? Well, they said we was fighting communists, but it was kinda hard to tell. There ain't no fun in killing folk, and I don't wanna do no more. Well, this was before Blackhawks and RPGs were king. My buddy on the door gun, he never felt a thing. When our Huey caught a rocket, both the pilots killed, and it pitched us over sideways on some Nicaraguan hill. My back felt like it's broken, my legs I could not feel, but I kept on shooting communists, but it was kinda hard to tell. There ain't no fun in killing folk, and I don't wanna do no more. Well, I never did heal up right from injuries sustained. Officially in Germany, officially while we trained. Well, I remember all their faces, I dream about them still, and I know we's fighting communists, but it was kinda hard to tell. There ain't no fun in killing folk, and I don't wanna do no more. Well, I still speak the cold logistic that warriors speak so well. Foxtrot, Tango, Whiskey, Alpha, Golf, Tango, Hotel. A soldierly bravado, an unspeakable guilt. Well, that village, it was communist, but it was kind of hard to tell. There ain't no fun in killing folk, and I don't wanna do no more. Yeah, believe me, I've done plenty, boys, and I ain't gonna do no more. Of course, if they back me in the corner, they'll be dead before they hit the floor. Thank you. I got time for a few more. I'm gonna play one more of those songs. This is called Horse Soldier. It's the history of the cavalryman. I want to dedicate it to my buddy Carl, he did 2 tours in Afghanistan. So buy him a beer. Buy him a beer after you buy a T-shirt from him. All right. I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, riding Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. was with Custer and the 7th, 76 or 77. Scalped that little bighorn by the Sioux. And the tears and desperation of a once proud warrior nation, this I know, 'cause I was riding with them too. I drank mare's blood on the run when I rode with the gray con on the frozen Mongol steppe while at his height. I was a white guard, I was a red guard, I was the Tsar's own palace horse guard when Romanov was murdered in the night. Well, I knew Saladin and rode his swift Arabians, harassing doomed crusaders on their heavy drash. And yet I rode the Percheron against the circling Mohammedan, and once again against myself was cast. Well, I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, riding Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. Well, I've worn the Mounties crimson, and if you're silent and you'll listen, you'll know that it was with them that I stood. When Maythorpe she cried as her 4 horsemen died, gunned down in scarlet cold as blood. On high from Swiss or Sweden, be me Christian, be me heathen, the devil to the saber I shall put. With a crack flanking maneuver, I'm a new land a la Suba, striking terror into regiment of foot. Well, I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, riding Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. Well, I knew my days were numbered, but oh, the trenches lumbered. More modern machinations of the war, no match for rapid fire or the steel birds in the sky. With a final rearguard action, I retreat. No match for tangled wire or the armored engine's whine. Reluctant, I retire and take my leave. Today I ride with special forces on them wily Afghan horses, and the Stone's Northern Alliance send their thanks. And no matter defeat or victory in battle, it occurs to me that we may see a swelling in our ranks. Well, I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, riding Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. Yeah, I'm a horse soldier, eternal through and through. He got a real long reach from the derrick when he leans. He been all around the world on the big old rigs, with the welders in the trucks on the black gold rush, and the diesel burning cat motors grinding in the mud. You better hurry, Mon, he's the roughest nigger around. He got the power in his hands, he's pulling dragons from the ground, yeah. It's 35 below, or it's 98 above, and he's working through it all, 'cause baby, this is what he loves. Drives 150 miles, sure his kids are doing fine. He sees them when he can, but he's married to his iron. You better hurry, Mon, he's the roughest nag around. He got the power in his hands, he's pulling dragons from the ground, yeah. Well, he's a good hand to have on. He's throwing on the tongue, spinning, chain and sliding high side all night long. He's tripping in his pipe, he torques it good and tight. You gotta figure it, he's got his mud weighed right. You better hurry him on, 'cause he's better than the rest. He got the power in his heart and the dragons in his chest, yeah. He's a good hand to have on. He's throwing on the tongue, spinning a chain of sliding high side all night long. He's tripping in his pipe. He torques it good and tight. You gotta figure it. He's got his mud weight right. You better hire him on. He's the roughest neck around. He got the power in his hands. He's pulling dragons from the ground. Yeah, you better hire him on, 'cause he's better than the rest. He got the power in his heart and the dragons in his chest. Yeah. All right. This is a good one for all you aspiring guitarists. It's just got 2 chords. Not 3 chords, but 2 chords. I've been telling people this entire tour that this is one of the very first music videos we made for CMT up in Canada, and the budget was tight. Things were lean. The budget was so tight that we had to get my sister to play the love interest. It's true. We look alike too. It's weird. I'm gonna shine. She's really kind of hot, actually. Gonna shine up my boots. I'm gonna go into town. I'm gonna scrape up $20, I'm gonna throw it around. I'm gonna buy me a dance, first lovely lady that I see. When our dance is through, well, I'll say, will you marry me? I'm gonna shine up my boots, I'm gonna go into town. I'm gonna scrape up $20, I'm gonna throw it around. I'm gonna find me a gang, hoping if I can, I fold them all night long till I got me a hand. I'm gonna buy us a ranch with a palomino herd, and I won't mean no harm, baby, and I won't say a word. When misery comes to call, I'll give to him my life. I'll sit with him a while and share my horse, my home, my wife. I'm gonna shine up my boots, I'm gonna go into town. I'm gonna scrape up $20, I'm gonna throw it around. I'm gonna buy me a dance, first lovely lady that I see. When our dance is through, well, I'll say, will you marry me? I'm gonna shine up my boots, I'm gonna go into town. I'm gonna scrape up $20, but I'll probably just drink it down. Yeah. Well, listen, it's great to be so far from home and have you come out and listen to our music and know it. So thanks very much for having us. We appreciate it. Thanks, Knuckleheads, of course. They always treat us real well here. I'm going to play a song to finish things up that's probably familiar to you. I don't know. This is how we end all of our shows. It's a positive, sort of affirmative message, sort of a religious song of sorts. It's kind of about the spirit. Can I get a hallelujah, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get an amen, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get another amen? You got to have the spirit in your belly. And I'm not talking about Sunday morning spirit. I'm talking about Friday night spirit. Right up there at the bar. It's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. Thank you very much for listening, Kansas City. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cried. If I don't get rye whiskey, well, I think I may die. I'm gonna go up yonder holler, I'm gonna build me a still, and I'll sell you a gallon for a $5 bill. Well, if the oceans was whiskey and I was a duck, well, I'd swim to the bottom and I'd never comes up. But the ocean ain't whiskey and I ain't no duck. So I'll play my jack of diamonds and trust to my luck. Jack of diamonds, and know you hold. You've robbed my poor pockets of silver and gold. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cried. If I don't get rye whiskey, well, I think I may die. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cried. If I don't get rye whiskey, well, I think I may die. Well, my ponies ain't hungry and they don't want your hay. So fare thee well, darling, and I'll be on my way. Thank you very much, Missouri. God bless you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, I like a full-bodied lager as much as the next hard-working man. And the taste of suds, a dealing stud, I can surely understand. Trucker speed, and yes indeed, it's nearly getting late. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. Smoke your grass and fish your bass and burn that purple gas. Showing up with the powerful stuff that'll knock you on your ass. It's like diesel fuel, nobody's fool's gonna wanna get left behind. It's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. We're all half dead, and Emmett's left to spoiling for a fight. Well, who'd have thunk we get jackass drunk, the boys don't spare the ride. It's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. I've been splitting eights and hitting my straights in the card rooms of the world. Chasing skirt and getting hurt, but now I got a card playing girl. But man, she gets excited when the deal don't come out right. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, she's been drinking beer all night. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. We're all half dead and Emmett's left to spoiling for a fight. Well, who'd have thunk we get jackass drunk, the boys don't spare the ride. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. All right. Well, I've heard it said that you can get some heat in Irish pubs, serving Jamesons to an orange mud or Bushmills to his cuz. Here's what you do, tell them or do, you can meet them both halfway. It's time to switch to whiskey, they've been drinking beer all day. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. We're all half dead and Emmett's left to spoiling for a fight. Well, who'd have thunk we get jackass drunk, the boys don't spare the ride. 'Cause it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. Then it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cried. Thank you very much, Kansas City. Yeehaw! Thank you, that was a lot of fun. Cheers, everybody. Well, shit. Hey, I could do this all night, man. This is an interesting song. I never thought I could make a song this long work, but it worked, I think. I get asked a lot if this is a true story. It's not exactly true. It's kind of an amalgam, a combination of two or three stories of people I know that this has happened to. And the name of the brand, SLZH, is my buddy. You know Holtman from the Truck Song? That's his brand. And he actually does have a sister that went out east to law school, but she's cool, we think. Well, I was born in this valley, on this ranch I was raised. I learned to lope, rope and dally on the S, lazy H, where the roots of my people, they run deep on this place. I am 6th generation on the S, lazy H. When it came to the future, I never gave it a thought. If there were broncs to be broken, endless steers to be caught, well, my youth, it was carefree, for the work was my play, and what I loved would always be there on the S, lazy H. I had one beloved sister, a few years younger than me. Before a soul cowboy had kissed her, she left for school in the east. Me, I might have gone to college, might have liked to fly planes, but my dad needed help to run the S, lazy H. So I worked there alongside him, put adult years in this place, and I gained appreciation for the lines on his face. And when Mom had grown older, and when Dad passed away, it fell to me to look after the S, lazy H. By now my sister, she had married a sharp attorney back east. We didn't see eye to eye, but I did my best to make peace. What did they see when they looked over the fence one fine day? They saw a whole lot of value in the S, lazy H. So after thought and assessment, the court awarded them half, and no calf operation carries that kind of cash. Well, I worked through the numbers, worked them every which way. Yeah, I went through the numbers, oh, and boys, I'm afraid I had to sell 30 sections of the S, lazy H. Sometimes right isn't equal, sometimes equal's not fair. There will soon be rows of houses on that ridge over there. Many lifetimes of labor will be all but erased. So shed a tear and look skyward, God help the S, lazy H. The last few years were a struggle, but I gave it my best, and I tried to go forward on the land that was left Well, I have lived with the sorrow, and I will die with the shame. For now the bank owns what's left of the S, lazy H. You are a sunbeam, you will shine forever, forever in our hearts now that you're gone. You are a sunbeam and you will shine wherever your soul decides to roam. I wish you could have stayed a little longer and shone more of your sunlight in our lives. But having known you, I can feel a little stronger, remembering the sunshine in your eyes. Sunbeam, you are gone but not forgotten. You I'll carry with me every day. And I'll think about the smile you smiled so often, until I see you once again someday. You are a sunbeam and you will shine forever, forever in our hearts now that you're gone. You are a sunbeam and you will shine wherever your soul decides to roam. I wish you could have stayed a little longer, shone more of your sunlight in our lives. But having known you, I can feel a little stronger, remembering the sunshine in your eyes. You are a sunbeam, and you will shine forever, forever in our hearts now that you're gone. You're a sunbeam, and you will shine wherever your soul decides to roam. Thanks. That's for my niece. All right, I got one more for you. This is an old one, and it bears a little bit of explanation. There's a period of time in the 1920s when it was illegal to drink alcohol in the United States of America, but it was still legal in Canada briefly, so it was a bit of an overlap period there. And where it was legal up there, but illegal down here. So you see where I'm going with this. And our family ranch is about 6 miles north of the border. And so my grandfather performed a public service for you people. And I'm sure he didn't make a single dollar out of it. He just did it out of the altruism of his heart. This is about selling Canadian whiskey to Montana cowboys on Indian ponies. It goes like this. Thanks very much for listening. Thanks for having me, Frank. Appreciate it. I'll be back, and we'll bring the band back, and we'll have a big drunk party. How's that? I wrote my new song on a $5 bill, but I won't be able to sing it until I get hot on the trail. Boy, pick up a track of the dirty little thief and get my $5 back. I first got the $5 on my Montana man when he come across the line with a pistol in his hand. He said, give me all your money, but I got to his first. I took his Colts too and the whole first verse. You see, you couldn't buy liquor in the States back then, so we saddled up the ponies and we loaded up the gin. Rode underneath the shadow of the Grand Old Chief to get some Northern Rocky Mountain kind of tax relief. You couldn't count on the cattle when the marker got down, and the veterinary bills to the doctor in town. The kids needed shoes and they had to get fed, and a big old bank lien was over my head. I wrote my new song on a $5 bill, but I won't be able to sing it until I get hot on the trail for to pick up a track of the doodle little thief and get my $5 back. Well, it wouldn't stop talking about Canadian rye bouquet and the palate and it's crisp and it's dry. And a Seagram's bottle tasted mighty top shelf. I said, well, thank you very much, sir, cooked it myself. Of course, that didn't wash with the boys down south, judging by the stream of color coming out of their mouth. I can't figure why, because of where I stood, I got them just as damn drunk as any store-bought would. Wrote my new song on a $5 bill, but I won't be able to sing it until I get hot on the trail for to pick up a track of the doodle little thief and get my $5 back. Look out. He comes storm across the border with 6 or 8 guys, some damn. Thank you very much. That's a big deal for me. I never did tell you the name of this song, did I? It's called Please God Buy a T-shirt so I don't have to fly him back to Canada with me. He comes storm across the border with 6 or 8 guys, some damn fool saw fit to deputize. There weren't no sheriff nor marshal inside. I guess the lawman was up a drink of whiskey all night. He said, give me all your money, but I got to his first. I took his Colts 2 and the whole 3rd verse. He picked my back pocket, worked the $5 blues I had tucked in behind a can of Copenhagen snooze. I wrote my new song on a $5 bill, but I won't be able to sing it until I get hot on the trail for to pick up a track of the doodle little thief and get my $5 back. The doodle little double D, the son of a gun of a song, steal a chicken eating thief and get my $5 back. Yeehaw! Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves.